here's the thing. Here's the advice that we give you. If you do these 5 things from the Bible and from your grandmother, they're called common sense, you will win with money 100% of the time. Now, I don't know exactly how long it will take you, and I don't know what win with money will mean, because I cannot predict your income, and I cannot predict the tragedy that you will have to overcome. But subject to your income to tragedy ratio, to the extent you do these 5 things, you will win with money. You will become wealthy in North America if you will do these 5 things over and over again.
Does it ever feel like working towards your future financial plans is slow going, if even moving at all? Our consumerist society may be pleasurable and fun, but it's holding us back. Dave Ramsey is famous for his blunt advice and specific strategies for building wealth. Today, we are going to look at 5 of his best tips. Stick around until the end, because the last clip discusses the most important mindset decision necessary to become truly wealthy. Let's get going. We're going to start with the basics: investing. Dave has some strong words for those of us struggling to actually save and invest the money we intend to. This first bit of advice is about changing your mindset when it comes to building wealth.
100% of the people that build wealth save money on purpose a lot. Some people do it poorly in a stupid money market account and make no money on their money. Others do it wisely in mutual funds that outperform the S&P, or real estate that they pay cash for that outperforms the S&P. Others are just passive and do the S&P, and they all write books about it and all have a freaking opinion and make money off of you while you're stagnant. That's stupid. Don't be stagnant. Invest money, save money. You know how you're going to do that? You're going to be on a plan. You're going to get out of debt. You're going to live on less than you make, and voila, there is money in the budget. It's called margin, baby. And now you got the money to be rich. You got to act like rich people, and that's not go spend a bunch of money, moron, because rich people don't go spend a bunch of money. I'm going to go buy a Ferrari. I'm acting like rich people. No, you're acting like a moron. That's not, Ferraris aren't rich people. That's the ultra rich. You don't buy a Ferrari if you're a millionaire. That's that's crazy, you people.
Sometimes the truth hurts, especially when Dave Ramsey is yelling at you. If you felt targeted by his words, maybe it's time to reevaluate your spending and saving habits. He's completely right. The rich didn't become rich by spending everything they made while waiting for the perfect opportunity. The rich saved money and then saved some more. When the time came to make a profit, they had the capital to make it happen. Now let's pivot to what to do when it's actually time to spend money. As much as saving and investing is important, there are some purchases that are goals we can eventually reach. How can you spend your money with peace of mind? Dave took a question like this on his show back in 2018, but the advice is just as gold today.
His question is from Ricky in Washington. He said, David, just gone through my second beater car. Tired of being on a first-name basis with the AAA tow truck driver. I'm out of debt. I have my emergency fund saved, and I have the money to get a little nicer car. Having a hard time parting with it because I worked so hard to save it. Can you talk a bit about the struggle people have with spending money, even when they have it to spend? Yeah, it's so hard to finally get some in savings. It's hard to release it, especially if you're wired as a saver. Now, I'm wired as a spender. My wife is wired as a saver. Usually we fall in one of 2 categories. I think you're wired as a saver. She gets great comfort from having that pile of money, more than she would get great comfort from having a reliable car. Me, I'd rather have a reliable car. Past the emergency fund. You're at the, this is an emotional thing at this point. It's not a financial thing. I have the money, but I have trouble releasing it. And so what that says is you're just getting some, it's a normal thing, and it's not a bad thing, but it just says I get security from that extra money beyond my emergency fund. And I'll tell you this, I think it's something we all have to work at, one of our money skills. You're only got stagnant wages if you decide to stay there and keep getting those wages. This is not Russia. You can quit. I don't like how much Walmart pays. I don't like how much McDonald's pays. So don't work there, stupid. Go to work for somebody else. I don't like how my company treats me. So leave. Go be somebody. There's no reason that you have to be stuck somewhere because some liberal journalist said you were stuck. You're not stuck. You're stagnant. Don't be stagnant. You know what stagnant pond water does? It grows scum on top. You don't want to be stagnant. You get scummy. You need to go be somebody. You need to leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. You need to decide that my life is not good enough the way it is, and so I am going to control the controllables. I am going to change some things. Because guess what? Nobody in Washington is going to fix your life. Santa Claus doesn't live there, baby. Have you noticed that the Democrats and the Republicans, neither one could freaking add? Have you ever had any of them send you money? No. They are not going to fix your freaking life. You are going to fix your life. You're going to get on a plan. You're going to get out of debt. You're going to live on less than you make.
It's great to have a mindset centered around saving money. That is one of the key ingredients for building and maintaining wealth. That being said, it's possible to swing the pendulum a little too far and have trouble letting go of that money when you finally are able to. Learning to give, like Ramsey mentions, is a great way to warm yourself up to the idea of parting with your cash. Not only do you spread some love in the world by sharing your money, but you also learn to live with yourself after letting it go. That way, when you need to buy a reliable car and are afraid to spend the money, you'll be able to do a good deed for yourself. Before you get started on your financial journey, it's good to set out a strategy to begin on. The first goal you should look to is creating a tiny emergency fund of sorts, of which you'll build on later. Then, you have the breathing room to start tackling your debts. Here Dave break it down for you. Both a small emergency fund and a zealous approach to eliminating your debt will work wonders. Your debt will shrink and money will begin to flow freely more quickly than you expect. What it really takes is discipline. This discipline allows you to take control of your cash flow. Not only do you find more ways to produce income, but more importantly, you can rein in your spending habits. Let Dave shame you into budgeting real quick.
I'll guarantee you this, 95% of you listening to me right now do not do a unique written budget every month unique to that month. Almost no one does. Those that do, however, find all kinds of money that's being lost because your checking account is a freaking sieve. Money leaks out of it like you're sending it to Congress or something. You have no idea where your money goes. And you make more than your parents made. You make more than a lot of your friends make, and you make more than any other country in the world, virtually, personal income. And you're freaking broke. And so let's just establish here that you can find $100 latte breath. Let's establish that you could find $100, Mr. and Mrs. Cable. You spend $100 on things you don't even realize you did it. You impulse more than $100 at Target every month. The reason they check your receipts at Costco and Sam's on the way out the door is not to make sure you didn't shoplift. It's because it's federal law you spend $200 or you're not allowed out. I think it's easy, if we sit here and discuss it a minute, to think about $100. Now, $100 is a lot of money, but $100 invested every month, from age 25 to age 65, averaging 12% in a good growth stock mutual fund Roth IRA, is $1,176,000. So if you're listening to this show and you are under 40 years old and you don't retire with $1 million, that's no one's fault but yours.
As much as we all hate to admit it, there are certainly many expenses we could cut down on that are unnecessary and hold us back from reaching our financial goals. The first step to combating this is to actually sit down and examine where your money goes each month. Then overhaul your spending habits. Make a budget and stick to it. You will be surprised by how much money you can save just by staying mindful. Our final piece of advice from Dave Ramsey is perhaps the most important. It's all about what it actually takes to stay in control of your financial fate despite all the headwinds. Intention is important, and he's going to tell us why.
Charles Noble says, you must have long-range goals to keep you from being frustrated by short-range failures. You know, not only frustrated by those things, but you have to be able, the only way you delay momentary pleasure is based on the nobility of your vision, the nobility of your goal. If my goal is to change my family tree, I can give up purchasing some stupid thing that I can't afford on payments. But if I have no goals, and there's no nobility into my future, if I feel stuck, if I think someone else is in control and the game is rigged, well, that becomes fatalism, and what's the point? So I think you need to stop and think and be intentional about where you're going, and also, more importantly, why you're going there.
At the end of the day, it's important to know where you're headed, and knowing why you're headed there will keep you on track. Let's quickly recap the 5 tips. 1. Switch from spending to saving, investing wisely. 2. When it comes time to spend, learn how to do it right. 3. Your first steps should be to save a small amount and then attack your debt. 4. Find the discipline to create a budget and stick to it so you can actually save. 5. Have a noble reason for why you are after true wealth. If you follow these 5 steps, you are going to be miles ahead of most people. These common sense rules don't seem to be as common as they should be. If you want to see a change, start today. Thanks for tuning back in to Profit Protection, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something today. Leaving a like and subscribing to our channel is the best way to support us, and we would appreciate it. See you next time.